Okay, hey, this is Egan talking about room 2016 Exactall. This is the intelligence room of Exactall. It's a really impressive intelligence room. A lot of really interesting lights and colors and details that you haven't, or I haven't seen in many other maps before. Really interesting, a really interesting theme and set pieces of the map, like the super reflective floors and stuff. Small note here on your maps, there's this one map that has like the crease in it as if it was misaligned. Was that intentional? If it was intentional, why is like Greenland missing the top half? Is that intentional? I don't know. Maybe you could have made it like fuzzy or something with the VMT shader, the proxy, the Danana proxies. Um, yeah, really good use of details. Good use of color, good use of space, good use of like aligning things and just having things complementary to the areas, and just, it looks really interesting. But it's a little bit hard to tell what exactly this place is used as. You might be saying, oh, well, Egan, it's a spy tech base. Can't you see? There's like alien props, and there's this thing, I forget exactly what that's from. Oh, that was from Two Fort, right? Did you ask the people that made the Two Fort map if you could use these? Because they didn't release those publicly, by the way. Um, Same with like the goo down here. If you did, good. But if you didn't, maybe you should have. Um, like it's kind of weird. Like you have this like data link. Like this would be like the place that like people go to talk to somebody, whoever's in charge of here. But like, is that what this place is for? Is like a place where people come and go really often? Is that what it is for? Because like there's no like seats in here other than this one seat down here, and there's no like places for really people. Like, are people just like standing here all the time, like waiting for commands? It's a little bit difficult to tell what it would be used for. Like it's really cool use of space and geometry and color and lighting. It looks great. It looks really great. But like I guess lab people would be up inside of here doing their work in here standing. There's no chairs or anything. And then you'd walk across here and go do your thing, and then somehow people are up here doing their thing up in here too. Looks really cool. Yeah, you definitely took things from Two Fort. I mean, it looks really good. It's just a little bit hard to tell what the gameplay space over here was used for. Like you decorated the set pieces of the sides of the map really well, and in that case you filled the theme of the underwater scientific space base really well. It looks really cool. But I'd be asking, like, I would be asking, what is the space used for? Because like there's no chairs and there's no, and my FPS is somehow really bad for what it is. Like it's just detail. I mean, of course, it's just details, so I mean, is it really worth complaining about the FPS? Probably not. In the elevator shaft, I really like that you did this underside here, so the floor is not shiny at all, and it's very clean up top, and then, or is shiny, I mean, but then the bottom is like not shiny. Good, thumbs up, good, very good. I like that the bottom, which would not be polished, is not polished. Very good use of like the difference between the polished shimmering and the non-reflective underneath of the elevator. Really good. I'd say, what's the point of the elevator? Because it doesn't, like if this is to organize where, like if this is, you're holding boxes and it's like spilled or whatever, it's an elevator, sure, it's spilled, but like how do people get things off the elevator and go over here? Is that what the point of this area is for? I guess being vague about that is generally fine, because it could be used for anything at this point, but I guess, and the elevator tells enough of a story that you wouldn't really have to worry about that. I'm kind of nitpicking here. I like the use of the the wheels. Looks really good. So the top of the elevator, this door does exist, but it's really hard to tell that space exists from the bottom here. So you look up, and it almost looks like, okay, so this is all water, and the top is water, and that might be thicker than the other side, but it almost looks like it doesn't go anywhere. Like you can almost see, maybe you can see actually the outside of that from the base down here. But it looks a little strange that, like, you know, it doesn't really go anywhere up top. Yeah, I use the volumetric lighting. It's a little bit easy to tell that it is volumetric lighting because we're looking directly at the center of it. You know, it looks very boxy in that sense. Maybe angling the entire thing over in one direction probably would have looked a little bit better. Yeah, the lighting, the colors are really good. Yeah, good job. I just, you know, it's in the back of my head that you probably wouldn't have made the Spytech areas look half as good if you weren't allowed to use those props, which you might have been allowed to use those props, but like they were not publicly released, like explicitly not publicly released, because the guy that was going to publicly release it was banned from the community. So he didn't release them. He was going to, and then he didn't. So using the props, you know, if, you know, you weren't allowed to, it's a little bit like, you know, cutting a razor thin wire, you know. I don't actually know what cutting razor thin wire means, but I think that's the context that belongs in. You can use the shadows and stuff. Lighting, colors, it looks great. Yeah, generally it looks really, really good. Yeah, but just generally, what is the space used for, you know? Like, if this is like the main door that things come out of, why is not the door just a little bit less, you know, reflective just around the door? Or, you know, you could have made the floor, I don't know if the reflections work on displacements, but if that would have been kind of cool if you could like fade the reflection into a non-reflective kind of general route through the middle of here, and then made it look like people drag things or move things through here. The floor being so reflective, I guess it could generally make sense if there was leaking water in the area and you'd had like drains generally in some parts of the floor. But it being so reflective otherwise, like unnaturally, you'd expect mops or even like a cabinet of mops and cleaning supplies to exist somewhere, but I don't see that at all. Maybe it is hidden somewhere, but like explicitly putting it somewhere would have been kind of cool too. Oh, you do have like a drain here at least, but it's like for mechanics and stuff. Yeah, so having like drains or cleaning supplies, mops and things. Excellent use of colors, and it's really unique. Looks really good. Yeah, really good job, dude.